Yeah, it's not only the plants. Other things that also get problems. For example, this is all the indigenous rights. A big mess there is this indigenous costume of killing recent birth. Is that part of their religion? And then you have all this, mad nuns running to the reserves trying to save all the babies before they get killed, and the radical anthropologists leave them alone. So it's not only drugs, but of course, in this case, the problem is the drug. But it can happen. It's a part of discussion of all religious liberties, and do you have to wear a vest or not? Are you allowed? It's the legislation. Up to when can the state interfere in religious privacy? Let's say. But what happened in Brazil, and this is quite interesting, and I think this Brazil is a very, very unique case, and in the sense, I think it's a paradigm, because Brazil has a very conservative legislation regarding drug laws. So it's not especially liberal. It's not like, some European countries. Harm reduction is not very, very developed. But it has this authorized use of ayahuasca. So how do you explain it? Yeah. Well, people explain it for magical reasons, basically, because this is the power of Mestre Irineu and power of Mestre Gabriel, and but it's a mixture of things. It's a mixture. It's a social process. It's like a social thing, a historical process that had a positive ending. It could have had a different ending, but this is a part of a struggle, and in this struggle, there was many factors that influenced. One factor that influenced was the role of anthropologists. It was the anthropologists were very active in this process of regulation, which is very unusual too, because usually you have biomedical research being the main frame for decision, like, does this thing give overdoses? Does it kill? Is it toxic? And after all, everybody says you have to be biopsychosocial, but in the end, they only want to know the bio, okay, but let's ask the doctor now. Okay, very nice, you guys, with this reflection, but what is the doctor reality on this plant? But there, no, you had the chance of meeting anthropologists and doctors and the users. So in 1986, when they first got together, they had a very active movement. And of course, the social movement was important as well, because the groups organized themselves and they made pressure. And one important factor is that UDV has very wealthy people. And they're very organized, and they're very serious, and they have a lot of doctors in their board, and they have a lot of lawyers, and they have contacts in the Congress. So they moved around too. They have kind of made, their lobbies, which I think it's really good. And now you have recently, all this has been brought up again, and there was a big reflection again, and there were a lot of meetings